Good evening and welcome to the March 8th, 2022 Management Committee meeting. We've got Steve Cundiff is joining us virtually tonight. We've got JJ, Marty, and Julie joining us here. And we have got a fun-packed evening, a full agenda, so buckle up, Buttercup, here we go. Sue, you had requested to speak, but I know we've got Steve here, but I do want to let you guys know that the drainage issue was here as a there's going to be no decisions tonight. It was here as an informational only because members contacted the management committee and we're investigating. But so you know, Sue, if you want to take a minute, but it might be best to wait to another time and go forward through. But okay, I just didn't want to jump, get out in front of something that we weren't ready to, because okay, all right, okay, well, great. So thank you. So first of all, with our capital depreciation fund, capital fund total is sitting at $438,025.65. Depreciation fund is sitting at $404,855.86. That's well above our 1.5 times goal of the annual contribution. We do have some hopefully some expenditure requests tonight to go through that'll kind of lower a couple of those. We don't have any fund transfers at this time because of the end of year audits and the end of year work that Penny's been doing. We're just kind of waiting to see where the cash is and make a decision of how much to fund it into the different funds after that. So I think Julie, she'll be getting with you.
Yeah, I'll meet with her on Tuesday.
Great. Okay. Thank you. Steve, you're hearing okay and everything's good on your end?
Yeah, everything's marvelous.
Okay. All right. So we've got a couple expenditure requests. The first one I've got is the Copier Lease. And I sent y'all some notes on that. Plus there's been some emails. What we have is we've looked at the possibility our copier is 5 years or older and it is time to be upgraded and replaced. We have a couple choices. We can purchase outright or we can lease. We've looked at both and we've had a discussion. It looks like the 60-month lease is the best way to go for the club. It gives us flexibility. First of all, it gives us a known cost every month that we have this copier. It gives us flexibility at the end of 5 years. These copiers change every 3 years and get better and better. And if we buy, then we're stuck with a 5-year-old copier that's worth nothing. And then we have to get rid of it and buy another one. So we looked at our Avendra, which is the buying cooperative, at their copiers, and then we looked at Modern Office Methods, who is our current vendor. Avendra did not do a lease, had an outright purchase that was almost identical to what the Modern Office Methods purchase was. So what we can look at that we can discuss is I just like everybody to affirm that the lease is the way that the management committee like to go, and the Modern Office Methods lease would be $330 a month, which also includes toner and paper and service, and is for a 60-month lease. Plus, they will come in and they will buy out the lease of our existing unit because it's got a couple months left on it. And then they will dispose of the old one and bring us a new one, and we're good to go. So is there any discussion on this?
No, I'd like to make a motion to go with the modern office. What do you call modern office?
Modern office methods.
Methods.
Mom.
Mom, okay, for the 330 a month for the lease of the um, copier with the ink and the paper included.
Steve, do you have any discussion on that?
Nope, let's do it.
Anybody else?
No.
And I do need,
I'll second that.
I've got a second. I thank you. I've got a motion and a second, and I need to check. I wish Chaz was here. He's not available. I don't know if because this is a lease, if if the board of trustees has to sign off or not. I'm not sure on that. I don't think so, but
I think whoever's signing for Jeff now could
Yeah.
probably.
yeah,
We'd have
I
to
believe so
check with
too.
that.
But we will check that out. So, okay. So we've got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And all opposed, we've got it. Let me write some notes here before I move forward. Next, I got it on here. JJ, did I get the name right this time? Brewery Chiller?
Yes.
Are we far enough along to do you spending money or?
Not just
oh,
yet.
Okay,
What we're doing is the chiller that we have now is a dinosaur. It's even bigger than what we needed. What I'm doing now is giving the calculations to a professional to see the size of the chiller that we need, but not only looking at the chiller that we have or the system we have now, but also a system that we wanted to reduce our system, our capacity, but be more efficient, that the chiller would be able to accomplish that also. So there's just some calculations being done. Hopefully by the next meeting, I can have the calculations and.
okay, very good. Any questions?
Nope.
All right, that was easy. Next, we have a replacement security pickup. Security has two pickups, both Toyota Tacomas. They're both getting quite a few miles and some age on them. The one that we will be replacing, and I'm sorry, I do not remember the year on it, is actually the newer of the two, but it's having some issues. And it is really basically parked right now because they're kind of afraid to use it. So we have looked at the Toyotas again, the Chevy Colorados, the Ford Rangers. We've quoted each of those. And I don't have all the quotes, but the Ranger and the Colorado and then the four-door Tacoma were coming in at about $35,000. We have a price for the four-wheel drive club cab Toyota Tacoma manufacturer's suggested retail price, which is all that's all they're giving you right now. There's no discounts because they can't even get them. But the price on that is $29,244. With at this time we have a quote for a $13,000 trade-in on the other unit. Now that trade-in is low, but that is because the dealer understands that there are some issues with the door and some issues with the transmission that need to be repaired, and so all in, if that trade value holds, which I think it will be an estimated total spend of roughly $17,666. We had $40,000 in the depreciation budget. So any discussion on the need for a security truck or any questions?
No, I'm good with it. The one thing that we'd like to do too, in talking with security, is to buy a light bar.
Yeah.
For it too. That'll be separate. It's not through the manufacturer. It's one off, but it is one that'll fit the Tacoma and it'll help for search and if needed rescue.
Okay.
At a
Great.
price approximately $70.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Steve, did you have any question or comment?
Nope, I think it's a good price. We better snatch it up.
Okay, and this is coming from the factory. It might take months to get this. I'll contact the dealer tomorrow and start the process if we vote for it. So what I'd like to do is ask for a motion to approve not to exceed 18,500 in case we have obviously they're not going to give us the exact trade value till we take them the trade, and we can't take them the trade because we're still
Did that-
using it.
Yeah, but did that price have the transportation charges and the taxes and title? And
I
all
added
other
what,
stuff in there?
yes, yes, I
Okay,
did.
so
Yeah, so,
That 18
Yep.
would cover everything.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'll make
yeah,
a motion.
thank you for checking that. But, yeah.
I'll make that motion then to.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, so moved by Marty, seconded by Miss Julie, that not to exceed 18,500. Purchasing the Toyota Tacoma for security. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? I don't believe so. Okay. All right.
Does that need to go to the board for final approval?
Yes, it will. Yeah, it will. Yeah, thank you very much. That's why we need a handler here from him. Oh, we got one back there. Okay, next we've got a maintenance lift for the golf course that'll be at the maintenance building. We have, bless you. They're wanting at least a 7,000 pound capacity that is made for lifting mowers and smaller items. It's got right now, if the team has to change the oil or change the blades or working on anything, they're on they're down on the ground underneath it. And this is a safe lift to just make their life a little bit easier and make it easier to work on our equipment. So, maintenance has suggested a new unit from a company called ASE Incorporated that has a 7,000 pound capacity. They got 3 different quotes. The lowest bid was $8,070. The other bids they were all pretty much in a pile. I can't remember the exact, but they were all under, I believe, $9,000. Steve, you had looked at
It's gone.
It's gone.
It
Okay.
was a good price. It was something
Yeah.
we need to jump on. So no, it's gone.
All right. Well, there was a possibility of a used one. So is there any questions or discussions on the lift?
Well, yeah. How does it mount?
I'd have to go back
And are we set for that?
they are set.
It's a post lift that goes to the concrete itself. Rick's checked it out. It's put in with concrete anchors into the floor itself.
And then how thick does the pad need to be underneath it?
Not familiar. I don't know that part of it. I know Rick has checked it out.
It's work to install, but
Yeah, I just make sure it gets installed
Yeah.
properly so it could be
Yep.
used safely.
You bet.
And then we have the proper electrical feed
Mhm.
for it.
Rick checked that as well. I can't tell you what the feed is, but he says it's good to
You
go.
can't tell me anything.
I can't.
Talk to Rick.
Okay.
All right. I can pull up the quote and see what the feed is, but we'll
Did you send that to us?
Yeah.
Did you? Okay.
it's been quite a while, right
Okay.
after the last meeting. So
Okay. All right.
hold on here. I don't want any questions. Here we go. This file could be harmful to me and my computer. Great. Came out on 2/18. Bend pack. XPR. Hold on here. A lot of good information. I'm not finding yet the
We can look for it later.
Okay,
Rex.
all right.
I know if you
No,
talked to Rick about it and
yeah.
we've looked at it and
Rick is comfortable.
you know, it's,
Yeah.
it's one thing to buy it and then we could
Right.
do what we need to do to,
Yeah. Electric
To
over
install
hydraulic
it.
power systems, all it's telling me right here.
okay.
220 VAC motor, 60 hertz, 1 pH. What would that be?
Single
One
phase.
Single phase. All right. We got that. Okay. All right. So
I'd like to make a motion to purchase the golf maintenance list, not to exceed $8,100. Is there tax? or anything
there
involved?
will be tax on that. So we better go 8,900. That should do it. Yeah.
Is there going to be a delivery charge?
This said
This one
no.
says free.
Free
Oh,
delivery. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, not to exceed 8,900.
Okay. We've got a motion not to exceed 8,900. Do I have a second?
Second.
Miss Julie? It's the JJ and Julie show again. All right. All right. All in favor of purchasing the golf equipment lift for the golf course, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Yeah, he got it. He found the mute button. Cool. All righty. Get back to my agenda. So the last on the list is replacement gates for the front entrance. But I talked to Rick today and he would like us to hold off on that. There's some changes with the RFID that might affect that, and he wants to do a little more investigation. And I'm glad about that because I was a little unclear of pricing and why we needed, the exact reason for updating. So I was checking with him today and asking some questions, and so we're going to hold off on that at this time.
We need a motion. I'll make a motion to hold off. on that.
Okay, so we can do that. Anybody second that?
Sure.
All right, Marty, all in favor to hold off on this one?
Aye.
Aye.
No discussion?
No. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Thank
Well,
you.
I guess I'm looking here just at this. Again, Shannon Forest gate was down and broke, not this past weekend, but I think the weekend before. I think maybe we need to look at and talk with Rick on the dependability of the old slide gate mechanisms we got,
Well,
availability of parts.
hey,
What, Mark?
Steve. Yeah, Steve. So the problem with the Enchanted Forest gate was when they tied in the new reader in there, and so they had both things going in there, and the controller was confused, and it didn't know what to do. So they
All right,
they
well,
came
it worked
back
for several
in.
days. That's why I didn't know. But I'm
Yeah,
just saying
came
we
back
may
in
want
and
to
they
look.
disconnected it because we knew that who was that Silco.
Mhm.
Silco did something because it was working. So when they came back in, they fixed it and everything is good. So it's not necessarily that mechanism that's bad on that.
Electrical confusion.
Yeah.
But I do think, Steve, I
Yeah.
agree. We need to get an idea of where all our gates are and the health of them.
Well, we know what they cost to replace those heavy gates. We're $2,700, probably shooting $3,000. If we have a problem with one of them, the controllers, the motors, that's all older stuff. The mechanism, the old chain drives. I mean, I'm just looking, and we're looking at speed and efficiency. And, we talked about the arm gates, and some people question the security going underneath them or around them. There's miles of accessibility into Hideaway Hills anyways. I don't think it's supposed to stop a tank attack or anything like that, but just prohibit normal traffic from coming through. So something we may want to look at, I guess, as we get down this process a little bit.
Duly noted. Very good. Thank you. All right. Any other expenditure requests or anything on that? Okay, good. All right. So got our discussion items. First is GM recruitment process, and I just want to let the membership know that we're in process. We have had quite a few applicants. We've started interviewing applicants. We had one interview last week. We have two more this week. we've got some pretty good candidates available. So, you know, really, I just want to let folks know it's in process and we're moving forward. Steve is helping out with the interviews. I'm on the interviews, Chaz and Linda Hodge. And so we've got a good team doing that. And I feel confident that we're going to get an excellent replacement for Jeff. So any questions right now?
No. Good.
So when you plan on getting somebody on board?
Well, if the interviews this week go good, we will bring one or two of them here for another interview and then make an offer. And so
Would that be next week?
it would depend on how quick they can travel, but it could be as quick as next week. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then not sure if we've got, you know, if we're going to have 2-week notice issues with a
Right.
replacement or anything like that. But
Hopefully next one.
yes.
We have to have board approval once we make the recommendation. or-
Yeah, you're looking a month at least away because of board approvals and things like that. It's
But-
not going to happen overnight. Our
But they
first candidate was kind of not even close, so we need to make sure the next two are closer to fit the bill. I think it's hard pressed to say that now.
Well, we'll make sure we can also do an e-vote for the board. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I just trying to
Yeah.
feel for the timeline.
as quickly and as quickly as possible with still making a good decision and getting a good hire. Yeah. On that, I wanted to talk about so for the membership, we have a plan. The management committee has a good plan that we've outlined with our managers, with maintenance and security and the office and our assistant manager Penny and the food service team, the golf course team. And so each one of the management committee folks is a representative to one of those departments. And so we've got excellent managers that run their departments well, and we're letting them run them. And then we're here as backup. And then as chairman, I'm kind of backup to that backup. Also, if Penny receives, has something from a member that needs to get bumped up, that would have gone bumped up to Jeff, that I will take care of those. And so I think, we're doing everything we can. It's not that we don't need a general manager, but I think for 30 to 45 days, we'll be fine without one. And so that's how we're taking care of that now. So I guess if anybody has a question or has a comment, you can email me or give me a call. But for all normal operations, the office will run as normal. Maintenance will run as normal, the golf course will run as normal, and food service will run as normal. So I think we're going to be in good shape. Any questions or comments?
Just a comment on your email address. Just a reminder to everybody to please use the email address that's in the Echo and on the website, because the old one for Rex goes to his old employer and
They're grumpy.
they're getting grumpy.
Yep. Thank you. You just don't have a sense of humor.
No. Tired of hearing about it.
Yeah.
Hideaway Hills.
They are. So, there's a couple of these. This is a discussion item, and I don't think it's anything to vote on. It's just interesting, and we'll probably need to come up with a process, but it can be done in the office. We've had some members request to be able to opt out of the Hideaway Hills directory. And I don't see a reason we don't allow that. I mean, that's their right. It's just the request has come, and I wanted to bring it out and let everybody know that I'd be talking to Penny, and we'll have to come up with a process, and it's going to take office time to do, but people prefer their privacy, and just want to make sure that they're not communicated out, in a way that they don't want to be communicated to. So any questions or
Do we know when
comments?
the next directory is coming
I
out?
do not know that.
I think the one was last year, but usually other
2
year.
years.
Every 2
Yeah.
years, I think.
So
Yeah.
probably next year sometime, so. You know, I agree with the ability to opt out. I don't think people have to opt in,
No.
but just opt out.
Okay.
Is there, I guess my only question would be, is there anywhere that when you become a member, that you say that you're okay with your information being given out? Like maybe when you fill out your phone number and your address? Because there might be something we would need to have that would say that I'm okay with that.
Well, I think all the information, the office has all the information.
Right.
But I think people have to have the ability to say, okay, you guys can have it, but I don't want it in the directory itself.
Right.
I'll have to check the application. That's
Okay,
probably
so
where it
if
is.
It says we'll utilize this for directory
Sure.
and information so that people are aware,
Mhm.
and you kind of opted in at that point, but that would be the point you could opt out.
Well, but then we're gonna have to have the ability of people that are already here to opt out,
Sure.
Yeah.
that are
Yeah.
already in the directory
Right,
now
so that would
opt
be
out.
where we could go out and decide
Yep.
if this is something we want.
Okay.
But going forward, if it's not there, it would be nice to
It
have.
might need to be
something that
there.
Just
For future.
says,
Yep. Very good.
I think I was kind of surprised.
Okay.
And I went,
Okay. Steve, did you have anything on that?
Nope, it's private information. They have the right to do it. I mean, I don't think it's a decision ours as much as
Right.
just figuring out what the process is going to be to do it. And I think a simple email to Penny would probably do that according to what works for her.
Well, I'll work that out and we'll let you know at a later date what we come up with. Okay, so the next one is, we've been notified of some drainage issues from members. Drainage issue, kind of both of them are up above Lake Arrowhead. Both Rick and Marty are aware. Some of it involves possibly changing some culverts that we take care of, possibly doing some things on our road right away, and some of it is just drainage issues on an easement that we don't control. I know that some landowners are here. Again, I didn't want to get deep into this. This was just informational only. I think Marty's looking at it with Rick. So if you have something to say, I guess, I mean, I'm not going to tell anybody not to say anything, but
If anybody has something to say that you don't already know or aware of,
Make sure you have them come to the mic if they're going to talk.
you can't hear Sue?
I thought a plot map and just a quick picture.
come on, Steve. Thank you.
This is where it's coming down from my property. That's Steve's property. Steve has like 60 feet out, where I got 160 feet out. And it's all coming down from above and it all needs cleaned out like he's
Is that
telling
an
us.
easement between the
That,
two?
the easement goes here. That's my property. This is Steve's, that's the Wolves, all four of those. These are 3 club lots, and those are designated a watershed that we cannot sell. All these gutters and ditches up there, they're all clogged up. And even if they're unclogged, the water comes through there at unbelievable speeds if these rains were happening. And it all ends up going across Steve's property. And, for years, we had a drainage ditch right along that easement. And you see, the easement stops at the electric pole, because they don't want that easement and electric go to the water. So what's happening is it always used to flow down there and go along right straight down on the other side of his dock. But over the years, he doesn't know his whole yard. It's overgrown. There's a lot of trees that have fallen, no fault of his at all. It's just that ditch is filled up with all the silt and whatnot. So unfortunately, what we're trying to figure out, the two of us, is who is it his responsibility for that little bit of land where it's not, the ditch has disappeared? and it's now going clear across my property, and it's, you know, it's going down through his fire pit, and I mean, it's just blind out there. If we keep that open, we can protect both our properties. We can get a mini excavator in through, where the blue house is, the, Bob and Peggy Kaiser's. There's a old logging road that is attached to their property, and they're pretty good about letting us come in through that way. We can get a piece of machinery in there, because to hand dig that out, I've hand dug it before he owned the property, just to protect my property, when his property was kind of vacant for a couple of years. He's tried to get out there and dig, it's just too much. You need some kind of machinery to get in there, but is he gonna get stuck with that, or can the club get in there and do something that's too big for our excavator, our backhoe to get in there?
Oh, okay. I
The
see what
folks
you're
have offered if we can get in there somehow to go through their property, but I think you have to go hill and dale.
I
But
talked to
there's
Matt
people that
Woodrum
have the
too.
nerve to do
Yeah.
that.
Matt's a contractor, Matt Woodrum, he's got a mini excavator, and a Bobcat. And, you know, I'm sure he will do it, but obviously it's not.
Okay.
And I contacted ACC and said, you know, what's the deal with these easements? And they wrote back, hey, they're meant for drainage. But who controls that drainage? The club or property owners?
Well, that usually is more electric.
Well, it says in our rules, I guess, that it's with drainage too.
Okay.
They're meant for drainage control. That's the report I got back. So we're
Well-
just trying to figure out how to.
Can we keep that?
It's my chicken scratches here,
Yeah,
but
That's fine.
there's the easement, and all the drainage issues up here, like Steve says, it's all clogged up in there. And it's clogged up around Catawba.
Yeah.
Where it's running down on the Wolf's property and tearing it all up, and they've had to dig all kinds of stuff, which you have to maintain the property and do that stuff on your property to keep your roadways clear and all these things from happening. And that's what the Wolves are doing, but they're also asking, you know, let's clean out around that corner, because there's a culvert there it's just been annihilated for years.
Well, we've got drainage issues all over the
Everywhere, yeah.
place, so it's something that we need to look at.
Working on lakes all these, I know what you're
Yeah.
doing with. We could slow it down by digging that out up there, but who, you know, does
Well,
Steve have to pay for that mini excavator or what? You know?
yeah, we got to look into it,
That's
and then
the
get
best
with Rick and everybody, and I'm sure we can work something out.
A couple call outs I would make while Sue's showing.
This is where it's running down through my property. Yeah, that was, just, and it's also bringing.
We're having a hard time hearing, guys.
It's bringing silt into two different places, you know, in front of his property by his dock. And it's also it's really lowering down through here. It went right through that's his fire pit up there. This is all my property here. My property goes up into a big triangle. His is a triangle.
Just goes down like that.
Yeah. And the Wolves looked at this too, you know, that day we went and looked at it with Jeff, and I don't know if Rick's done the whole thing yet or not. If he's walked over.
I'm not sure if he's gone down in there.
I haven't had a
I know
chance.
Jeff went down.
Oh, believe me, I've seen it, and I've seen it coming down
But that
Catawba
was
and
maintained
all
for
over there.
years by previous owners. The owner previous to him, kind of, you know, they did it for as long as they were there, but then for like 2 years, nobody lived there, 2 or 3 years. And then, Steve just chosen not to mess, just made it be woods. It's woodsy and nice, but it's really screwed up the drainage.
Okay.
There's a lot of trees down there.
Steve, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, so just, a couple of things I would point out. So we've been the owners of that lot for almost 4 years. And I think we've got some kind of perfect storm things that have happened here. Like February was very cold, so the ground is extremely frozen. We had a huge ice and snow event. And then within a 10-day period, not long after that, we had 3 really big rain events. So the amount of precipitation and runoff during that period was just excessive, particularly in a part of the year when the ground is frozen. You know, the ground, there's nowhere for the water to absorb.
Sure.
You got the grass that's not pulling moisture out, right? That area is usually in the summer and the spring 4 feet or 5 feet high of pampas grass that's constantly pulling moisture out of the ground. The trees are pulling moisture out of the ground. So this happening the way it did, I think it was kind of, this is Easter Sunday. Do we build a church for Easter Sunday, or do you build it for you know,
Well,
a
this happened
normal
last spring,
Sunday.
too. This isn't the first
Oh,
time.
it
it
wasn't-
Okay, well, all right, no, we're not going there, guy. I mean,
This is not the
we're,
first time it's happened.
we're not on trial. And I'm not,
Yeah.
yeah,
What
but
I'm
this,
Getting at is,
yeah.
I think it's real unusual circumstances right now.
I got it.
And the other point is, you know, I look at this from the standpoint of that runoff is coming from Catawba, that runoff is coming from Navajo, that runoff is coming, you know, from 3 or 4 different sources. Just because it's adjacent to my property, I mean, I'm not sure why that would be my responsibility. If it's all my property and it's all initiated and generated by my property, that would be a reasonable point. But you're asking me to manage the club's runoff, and I don't agree with that. That's just my position.
Well, and that, you know, and that is the question I have, and that's a question that it may go beyond this committee, but whose responsibility is drainage and an easement? And
Well,
Problem
you're,
is, it stops.
well,
on his pri-
but it depends on what that easement is. Okay, so
Right.
if that's, you know, one, if it's for South Central, that's a separate issue. Then if that creek, we just need to look at that. But I'm saying there's a solution out there.
yeah,
We need
yeah,
time to look.
Yeah,
at it.
we got time to look at it, and I appreciate both
And
of
this
you
is good.
coming in, and
Good feedback.
Yeah.
To know
Thank
what's
you.
going on.
Yep, thank you guys.
I
appreciate it.
have a quick question. If I just want to sit for a second. If, saying if the club could alleviate the excess runoff, is it something that the property owner can maintain?
It was previously.
Okay. That's all.
It's a lot of runoff. I mean, it's coming from a lot of different places.
Understood.
And if you look at it,
Understood.
I mean, it would cost, I believe, a lot to reroute that.
Oh, no, you know, water has a mind of its own.
Sure.
You don't stop it, you just reroute it. But
I think if you just continue that ditch where it used to be, it's gonna, that'll solve
Okay.
the problem for running on his property.
But it would be something
It's
that
just
if
too
it
much
was
for him.
done, if that drainage was set
Mhm,
and worked,
mhm.
it would be
Yeah.
minimal to maintain it. Okay.
Directly across from there, the property owner 15 has the same issue coming down between 15 and 14. There's a chasm that's been dug so deep with these rains in the last 3 years. You know, these rains are unbelievable in the last 3 years. We all know that. It's kind of running the driveway and trees up through there, and I think we've had Jeff up there. He's looking at that.
Hey, Rex.
They determined it was property owner for her to.
Yeah,
15 to take care of.
Steve.
I just wanted to be heard when they get done. That's all.
All right. Okay, Steve, you're heard. What would you like to say?
Well, I mean, the issue of who this is going to take care of would be a board issue. If the
Yeah.
board decides that the club will take care of it, then it'll come back to us and working with Rick and the maintenance crew. So, I mean, this as far as rules and who owns what and who has to maintain would be a rule thing, which would go to the trustees.
Yep.
And then come back to us if the decision was made of what our intent would be of working on this project.
I agree. I agree,
I
Steve.
just don't want us to extend our necks out too far on this right
No.
now and then have the board decide something else totally different.
Yep.
Because if
that's-
I was a member that had this issue going on, I wouldn't want to get 2 different answers from 2 different people.
Thank you.
And I think we all have water issues. And to Steve's comment, last 2 years and all the rain we got in these frozen ground rain events, we got a lot of drainage issues around. We really do.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I agree too. What's happening now, it's going to be it's not going to be if, it's going to be when the next issue. I mean, it's going to happen. It's just when. So it's something that, you know, we'll get together and we'll take a look, the board of trustees will take a look at it and we'll see what we can do.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you okay? You need, okay, thanks, sir.
Sue, I can skip
Oh.
one. Did you have anything from Marty on the Silt Trap?
Well,
You're all good. Okay.
we're good. I mean, yeah.
Okay. She had just mentioned she might, so.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
any questions on this or comments? I will get this to, I'll put this into a question to the board of how they want to look at that.
Well, let me get with Rick and
Okay.
let's look and see what it is, right? Because
Right.
if we could solve something simply and move on, then
Okay, great.
everybody's better for it.
Okay.
So give me the rest of the week to
I
get
will
with
do
Rick.
so. Can you scan a copy of that to me when you get home?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just send it to everybody.
Yeah,
That's
great.
fine.
Thank you. Next on the list is Blacktail Court, and I think this is going to have to go to the board as well, but I just wanted folks to know Blacktail Court is a road that's never been developed at Hideaway Hills that if it came out, it would run right into the parking lot of the stables. So if you've got the stable, or excuse me, of the barn, and then across the road is the stables, this little easement for a road goes right along the edge of the north side of the horse corral. Some folks bought all of the club lots that would be around the what would be the cul-de-sac of this, and they're going, you don't need to build us a road. We don't need a road. We'll just build our driveway into this area. Problem is, it's an easement. It's a club property, it's club property for a roadway. What I think we need to do, and I want to go to the board, and we probably have to go to the attorney, is give this owner a, I don't know, whatever, legally a 99-year easement for that section of roadway. Let them build their driveway. They have, it's only an easement for a road that will go to no other lots and no other people are affected. So I think that's a pretty elegant solution. So I just want to let you all know what's going on. Any questions on that, Steve?
Nope, that's the way to do it.
Yep. Okay. So we'll keep that moving. All right. Second. All right. Marty, and I just have the Silt Trap here on just in case there's anything to discuss, but
Yeah, I mean, just a quick update on that. We've got the first location. It's identified. The Silt Trap was staked out so that everybody can look at it. Talking to the landowners about that because it does encroach on a couple of people's properties. So we've got a couple little details to work out on that as far as maintenance goes because of the size of it. It's right now it's just going to be accessible from one side, and it's 47 feet wide.
Okay.
So you need a pretty decent size excavator to get in there to reach that. So we need to look at that. But once we get that, we'll kind of package everything up. We'll go out for bids on the construction on it, and then at the same time, or probably beforehand, actually, we'll get something over to the board so that they could get the easements.
Okay.
With the landowner. So we need to go down that path.
All right.
Sue and I did also go look at the next location for one, and kind of just as a preliminary review of it, but we'll probably later on this year get started on the design for it. Because, we can work on the design of all of these things. We just don't need to implement them
right,
right away.
Yep.
But we could always hold the drawings because the land's really not going to change.
Right.
So
that's a great plan.
Yeah. So we're kind of going down that path right now, but
thank you very much.
Yep.
Thanks for all you're doing.
Yep.
Thank you. Steve, any questions? Anybody else?
Sue's still here.
Nope.
Anything to add to it?
Right down the line. Good. Okay. All right. Oh, something got doubled up. We don't have to redo the operating plan. So for the membership, we have been working through the implementation plan for the RFID tags for, it feels like, a year. We've had great participation from all of the management committee members. We've had good participation from Jeff and while he was here, and from Penny. We're getting really close, and I think we're going to come up with a plan that It's not going to make everybody happy, but I think it's going to be best for the club and best for the majority of our members. Let me pull up where we're at here, my latest.
Rex, the one you sent out is definitely not the latest.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
not the one I saw.
I've got so many copies on my computer that I'm trying to get them, and I think I did send out the wrong one.
I think we gotta sit together again one last.
I think we do need to sit together one last time on that before we pull that through. I think we're really close. So I think we'll.
I think I was going to schedule a root canal that day.
Okay. No,
It,
no,
it'll be less painful.
I think we're good. No.
Not that far.
No.
We're not starting over.
We are not starting over. Okay, so yeah, we will do one more work session and then we'll release that out to the Board of Trustees and we'll vote on it and we'll get going on it.
So you're going to schedule that this week so we can have it to the board by Tuesday? Really be a good idea if we could. I don't think we're that far off.
How's everybody's time?
Anytime after 6 p.m. Friday night's good with me all weekend.
Actually, me too. Let's kick this around here.
Saturday is not too bad.
Yeah, I'm thinking Sunday evening a call. Is that no? Monday a call.
Special dentist. Why don't we just do it tomorrow? Just get it out of the way.
I've got an interview. Let me see what time. Hold on.
Thursday,
Yeah,
Friday.
tomorrow,
We can meet at the clubhouse like on Friday or something.
Friday. Be nice
Right
to
after work?
go.
Yeah, I got two. I got an interview tomorrow and Thursday at 5. You guys are talking Friday, or I can go.
Thursday?
I could go 6 o'clock Thursday.
I think that works for me.
All right, I'll send out a.
Steve, does that work for you?
Did you hear that?
Yep.
And then we'll bring it back for a vote and be done with this until we get to go glue on stickers. All right, I'll get y'all a calendar notification.
Here or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably be easier.
Okay.
We can watch Rex type.
Okay.
So my face-to-face will be this way, though.
Okay. All right. Is that going to work for you, Steve?
Yeah, I'll just have to call in. That's
Okay.
like I
All
say, I think half hour, 45 minutes, we can finish
I
through
think so too.
at the comments and just, I think we got it ironed out. Even now that Penny's put hers in, and after a couple of discussions with her, she's got a great plan in place. We
She does.
just need to finalize things.
Yep.
Members are going to end up with more access than they've had in the past,
Yep.
not less. So
Yes, that's right. Excellent. Okay. Steve, did you want to talk about the first aid and AED training, or are we not far enough along on that?
me?
Yeah.
Was that my detail?
No, it wasn't. We had talked to Randall. I can go. So just let folks know we have purchased
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
EDs for to replace the older ones that we had, the automatic defibrillators. Security is getting ready to schedule training with club employees on both first aid and on the use of the AEDs. And we are looking to see if we can open up that training to some of our members, to members that want to come. We're going to talk to the folks, especially running the fitness center, because there is one at the fitness center, and not sure how that's going to be staffed, or if there's how we want to train on that. So anyway, we're working on that, and and we hope to be able to, like I say, Hocking County will come in and take care of training for groups of up to 20 in each session. We'll use the first group of 20, or I think it's 20 for all of our employees, and then we'll find a way to advertise it and offer it for other folks in the hills. So the more people know how to use those, the better off we are.
Sorry about that. I didn't know exactly where you were going with that.
That's all right. I apologize.
Appreciate you doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just with the AEDs being around and having what we'll have 8 of them scattered through the community, and giving all the members a comfort level of knowing where they're at and how to use those, knowing how our EMS could be delayed in a response. I think it should be a very popular thing. I hope that the members that get this training and anybody gets the opportunity to save a member's life or a friend's life down here, I'm sure there should be a lot of interest in it. At least I hope so.
I hope so. Yeah. And we hope we never have to use one, but we got
That too.
Yep. So I want to let the membership know that after the February snowstorm, our maintenance team did an after action review, and I think we're still need to look at some of that, and we need to kind of do some more changes. But we do, as a management committee, want to commend not only maintenance, but our security forces and our community for coming together through that snowstorm and ice storm. And I think our folks did a tremendous job, and our community did a tremendous job. And I just want to thank the folks in maintenance and the folks in security. Some of those people were here 48 hours straight for us. And when you see them out on the road, or if you stop by security, I appreciate you as a member to tell them thank you as well. Because it went well. It didn't go perfect. There's things we need. There's some equipment that we might need to purchase that Rick is looking at and thinking about. But for the most part, I think we did well. So any comments?
Did we, is there any way we could get any kind of feedback from the community that something, that there are a lot of folks who pulled together getting the generator here, that maybe as a, we could help with that maybe wasn't, you know, I don't know if you could have like a call list of, you know.
Kind of like
so
yeah.
that we have something again. We're not recreating
Right.
a lot of good stuff that happened this last time. We're only going to improve on it. But I just don't, I'm not 100% sure how you would get that feedback. It might be going to the folks who were out there, you know, pulling the stuff together here, and the call list and calling folks to see if they're okay. So
I've got written down emergency action plan for community events, but that's not the right weather events. That's a really good idea, Julie.
so that you could get like it, so everybody would know in advance, okay, if this happens, these are some of the things that would be available to you.
Yeah, we should have that written down.
Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, we could start a local CERT team here. And why some people saw it as, you know, a lot of community involvement, management and the trustees were involved in that process. We were kind of working behind the scenes and putting a lot of that stuff together, and then individuals, we did a poor job of communicating. Like all the work that got done was good, with poor execution and communication. Once we got the communication down, it got a lot better. And then Marty made the electric come back on, and everything was fine again. So
Yeah.
So we had a person in the audience ask if we have a list of, if we could maintain a list of generators and folks who are here all the time that would offer assistance, and that's another good idea. Thank you. Very good. Yeah. Good. All right.
and I think we talked at the trustee meeting. Is Miss Hodge there? I take it still.
She is.
Okay, I think during when I was filling in at the last trustee meeting, kind of looked at our group that we had for emergency services and response, And we may have had this general discussion, if nothing else, comment by me that it might be a good task maybe for that group, since we are kind of working along that emergency service line there. Maybe it's something we could take on if she's so inclined, with also the other Linda, the pair Lindas.
I've got it
So I
written.
think that would be good to start there with a small group and come back with some input from membership then on what worked and what didn't work. But the communications piece, we got to have some way that we can all communicate on the same line instead of going 4 different directions, accomplishing the same task.
Yep.
I'm sure Linda said, I'd be happy to do that, even though I
Yeah,
couldn't hear her.
she's
Just now.
hold on, Steve. She's coming up to the mic.
Actually, Steve, that's not what I was going to say to you. I have a few other words.
Okay, we'll save those till we see each other.
We, the new technology we're looking at for the office will have some more capability of communicating with people. One of the issues we faced with this is phones were down. So you couldn't call
Right.
people because there was no cell service at the time, which might have been just a weird anomaly. But we're looking, and I have looked at emergency texting like schools use.
Right.
Which is the quickest way. It's like people look at a text in 3 minutes. They look at an email in about an hour.
Right.
So some of those things would help with that too.
Great. Thank you.
Good.
Glad you're here.
Me too.
Okay, we're gonna see here. So I went to another page. So just for the membership, you might see a nice, bright, shiny, clean, new Caterpillar loader backhoe roaming around the hills. It's been delivered and is in use. And then again, the AEDs have been delivered. So we're providing what we need to do for our members and our employees. Lodge updates, JJ, and I've got the numbers here if you don't have
No, I
them.
have them.
Okay, great.
I'd like to just do the lodge and the clubhouse sort of together. First, I'd like to say that we are going to do another wine dinner on March 24th. We will get information out for that shortly. Another event we have coming up, April 1st is an 80s night at the clubhouse. And April 8th at the lodge is the Blue Jean Ball. We'll get information out on those two also. Last Friday, we had the Williams brothers performing at the lodge. It was packed. It was crazy. We did over $3,000. And it really was something that shows that we need some help staff-wise. I really have to thank Serena and Aaron and Star, Tamara, Marty jumped in, Gavin, Caleb, Cadence. Unfortunately, Justina, one of our newer, better servers, was on vacation. So really it was 3 people out front. Marty jumping in the back, I jumped behind the bar. But it was wild. I apologize to people who didn't get the service they had hoped for. We got caught shorthanded a little bit. But all in all, I think people really enjoyed it. On Saturday night at the clubhouse, there was a new members gathering that brought in $2,000. And that was with the new members bringing in some food, snacks, etc. And thanks go out to Chris and Corinne for that one. With that being said, the lodge brought in $1,400 on Saturday, which is a little lower, but it's okay. We're working together with both entities. Positions, I talked to Serena today. There's going to be posting for positions on Indeed tomorrow. So hopefully we'll get some feedback there. It seems like there are starting to get more people interested in working again. Although hospitality is tough. I have some good news to report from the lodge. The year end. Last year, we budgeted $121,700 plus to subsidize the lodge. really at the end of the year, we subsidize a little under $80,000. And that's compared to 70,000 in 2020 with the COVID. So with the
Basically shut
difference of,
down.
yes, with the difference of about $10,500. So budgeting 121 plus, subsidizing practically 80. We ended we ended about 42,500 better than was budgeted. And that goes out to the crew. I have to say Jeannie, when her crew was here, and the new crew coming about this year, but really it was last year's crew that had done it. And by a full year comparison prior, in 2019, the subsidy was $198,000. So it shows we're going in the right direction and things are very good. I appreciate the membership supporting the lodge and the clubhouse. The numbers at the clubhouse were very good also. We had budgeted to subsidize, let me get my numbers right, $34,128, and we subsidized $34,412. So that turns out to be subsidizing the clubhouse of only $293 more so than we had. Those numbers are excellent. Again, the staff, under the circumstances, they all did a great job. And hopefully we can continue moving forward with, bringing that subsidy down even further.
Yep.
Just not to interrupt, but I thought I'm a little confused because I thought the last numbers we looked at that the clubhouse basically paid for itself.
It cost $290.
200, yeah.
Right, but I thought you said that, okay, so the revenue was 34.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, the revenue
Okay,
was,
I heard,
I'm sorry.
I heard
I'm sorry.
subsidy, yeah.
The
okay.
subsidy for the clubhouse
Right.
was $293.
Yeah.
30.
So we
Yeah, not
we
the
didn't have to
30.
hardly spend anything on it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So sorry for that
That's all right.
confusion.
that's okay.
But yeah, it's really something that I really thank the memberships for supporting these two locations. And hopefully we can just keep moving forward. Real quick, we ordered a salad bar for the lodge that's coming in within the next month. And we ordered 2 dual towers for taps. So we'll be able to provide 4 taps down at the clubhouse and 4 taps at the lodge for draft beer. So hopefully that'll push that forward too. So, I mean, things are hopefully looking up and we can just get better. There's always room for improvement.
And if folks come to the lodge, there's some things that maybe they can look around and see if they notice any differences. We'll let it be a scavenger hunt. We
There you
won't
go.
tell you,
Yeah,
but there's been some nice changes there, and I want to echo your thanks to the staff and everybody and to the membership for supporting. Jane and I had a wonderful meal Thursday night, and the pricing was good.
that's going to be
it's-
the hurdle.
Well,
Yeah.
The cost.
yeah, costs are going up, folks. Yeah. Okay. Any questions for JJ on the food service? Steve, anything
Thank
from you?
Just thank you for clean, concise numbers. This is what the membership has asked us for, to be open, transparent. Where are we at? And while we're not at zero net of things covering themselves, there's great improvements here. And like you guys said, that would not be possible without the members, but they've asked for these numbers so they know where they're at and we're getting them out to them. So I appreciate you putting that together.
Very good. Okay. That is it for the agenda. Steve, do you have anything to add?
No, sir. It's a lovely, lovely day in paradise where I'm at. So life is good.
Y'all came to visit? Anything that? No. All right. Okay.
I do have something for executive session.
Okay. All right. So I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that. motion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to call that a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Let me get to stop the recording.
You gotta get rid of Cheryl.
Get rid of sure.
Sorry.
Pay for that.
Oh.